No.
If it goes to grand jury, am I going to get like media coverage like crazy? You know, and I know that there are parts that have discrepancy, but that is all they will be and all they are.
In the summer of 2011, 21-year-old Katelyn Markham was an art student living in Fairfield, Ohio. She was weeks from graduating and planning to move to Colorado with her fiancé. On the night of August 13, 2011, Katelyn disappeared from her townhome in Fairfield. Her skeletal remains were later discovered in a remote wooded area in Indiana in 2013. Her fiancé was brought in for questioning multiple times over the decade as the missing persons case stretched on. This is the story of Katelyn Markham, the long investigation that followed, and her fiancé's latest interrogations. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hype this video if you have that capability.
Yes, so bear with me because I'm kind of new, so I may ask some questions that could kind of like, you know, what's up with the new person. So, but
he's really new.
Just bear with me. Yeah,
been about a month now, 2 months,
a couple of months. Yeah. I'll go ahead and do just like a little intro here, Paul. So the date today is February 15th, 2023, approximately 1:26 p.m. in the afternoon. Investigator Paul Newton and Investigator Mike Regal. We are sitting here with John Carter. John voluntarily came in this afternoon to speak with us.
Again, John, how you been? Doing all right? Yeah. See you after the pumpkin fest, like I was telling you. See you demonstrating how to blow glass.
Yeah. I
Is that-
teach it. I was just at work.
Was you?
Yeah.
So what you do full time now?
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. Well, I think I've seen one of your other videos. That was one of your passions. You wanted to start something more creative, and there was something that kind of led you was the glass blowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I told you over the phone, there's just a few things we want to go with you with. Like I said, this investigation is coming to a close on the prosecutor side of it. You know that Fairfield PD was investigating it. The sheriff's office investigated it. I think maybe you have talked once before. And there's just a few things that I still want to get your thoughts and your feelings on a few things. I know we're kind of texting your memory. It's going to be almost 12 years here shortly. But there again, we're not trying to drudge up any bad choices.
And that's really all this is to me. Like, and I'm not saying that it's all that you're doing is to me. It's just that like that's kind of my tension right now. It's just like coming back to this again.
Right. But there's times where I think I have a better handle now on that I talked to some people who were in your I guess your core group of people, and they told me some. I asked each person who gave me a story about Katelyn, and each one had a different story. That was something that was how she touched their lives, which was really kind of cool because each person told me something that no one else knew,
right?
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it really was. And I have a better perspective of how she was as a person. Okay, that being said, let's go back just briefly to when you're at the festival that night. You and Katelyn on that Friday night. Okay, you guys go to the festival. Your thoughts on you and prior. I'm going to go back and forth when it comes to some of the statements you've given in the past. You still feel, in your thoughts and your feelings deep down, you still feel that person who had done this was an unknown person, maybe that was kind of like you said, stalking, or I think your words were suspicious person that may have back in the day.
I mean, honestly, because I can't wrap my head around it being something like that.
Really?
That's really what it comes to.
Okay. So that being said,
that's really all that I mean, like, and to tell you the truth, that's the only reason I'm giving that answer, because I can't think of somebody that I feel strongly would have done something like that.
Right. So that night, you still feel that someone followed you to her condo or her townhouse. I believe that night, correct me if I'm wrong, I guess Allie was there, her sister was there?
That particular night.
Was Allie there with some friends? Was it just, or was it just?
We didn't go, I didn't go inside.
So you stayed outside. Was it one of those deals where you guys go to her townhouse and Allie's there and you guys like, well, this is not cool because, Allie was there. She had some of her friends and I know she was much younger than you guys.
Yeah.
So you guys decided to go to your house.
I don't remember exactly after, to be honest.
Okay.
That's the
Well, if you don't
especially
mind.
that day before.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of tell you the facts of like what you said in the past, and some other people said.
Got
I think after you guys left her townhouse, you guys went to your house.
Okay.
And you guys had, I guess you had like a little gathering of your friends. And I think you had like a little bonfire that night.
Probably.
And I think you were burning some of your documents. I think it's what someone
No,
said.
that was that night. That was the night after.
That Saturday night, you burned her documents.
Yes, because she had bank statements and records of those type,
Okay.
in an Abercrombie and Fitch bag, and then I went over to Ray Street where Travis and Carrie lived, and that's where I burned
Okay.
those.
So you didn't burn any of your documents on that Friday night? So you guys just had a little fire?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that night,
I don't think I have anything because I always do.
so your mom, I think you said that your mom's kind of the guru when it comes to.
And she was the one who told Caitlin that she needed to burn them.
That's a smart thing. You got to shred them, you got to burn them, you got to do something. I burned mine.
She was like, well, none of us have shredders.
I think in the prior statement, you stated that I think she had work the next day, which was going to be Saturday, the 13th. And I think you took her home, back to her townhouse.
Yeah, I probably got her.
Okay. And then you went back to your house in West Iota.
Mhm.
And you, at that point in time, I guess some of your friends were still there. I think it was a couple people that were still there. I think John Palmerton was one of them. There was another guy there, and I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
But maybe right. Maybe some other friends were there, and you guys. What time did you have a rough idea? What time you guys broke that party up? Okay. So going in Saturday. Back up 1 second. I'm at your core group of people.
Mhm.
Who would you call your core group of guys or people? Not so much guys, but your core
I
group
mean,
of
I
people.
don't really
Well, back then, everything will refer to
John and Jeff Rutledge.
everybody. When I refer to your core group, it's going to be past tense because I know.
Of course.
I mean, it's 12 years ago, and you guys are all married and got kids, and
Yeah, and life is different.
life has changed.
Mhm.
So who you said that was John Palmerton was one of your guys,
Yeah.
and Jeff Rutledge.
Jeff Rutledge,
Who else?
Matt Rocan,
Matt Rocan.
Tommy, Jake Presley. Just guys. or
Yeah.
just about everyone?
Just guys.
That's pretty much what I can think of off my head right now.
Okay. So that's Saturday. Like I said, you go to work that day, right? I think you worked that day, and on that Saturday you went to deliver pizzas, and you got off early because I guess the business was running slow that day.
No, I was worried about.
No, Saturday.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I think Saturday was you went to work
Yeah.
and she went to work because I think it's why you took her home early because she had to go to work the next day. She was working David's Bridal.
Mhm.
And you guys you took her home. You guys went to work, your prospective places of employment. You were working Papa John's at the time, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I think in your statement you said that you got up early that night because business was running slow.
Possibly.
Yeah. Then I think you made some phone calls reference to your trailer hitch. So you guys were heading to
To Colorado.
yes, okay. And that was an idea that was brought up by
We wanted to get a U-Haul to have hitch on the regular sedan, so we're trying to see if we could even have that.
okay.
Yeah.
You was out of Ford Focus at the time, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's gutsy. Trailer hitch on Ford Focus.
Any way to get where we're going, man. I just wanted to, and then also then they came down to, Caitlin really wanted it, and I just wanted to be,
Experiencing
You know.
a different part of life.
yeah, I mean, on top of it, like I was at the time, I was a college dropout. I wasn't planning on being a glass blower. I literally had nothing. So at that point, like as far as nothing to stay here for,
Right.
as long as Caitlin was with me, it didn't matter.
Life was good, right?
And Caitlin was just graduating, so moving somewhere else and establishing a life, it was the best opportunity to do that.
With some of your friends.
Oh yeah, of
Because
course. I mean, it'd be nice to
yeah.
have people that you know.
You don't want to go someplace where you don't know anybody. So I think at night you got off work, you went to Caitlin's. When she got off work, like you met her at the house according to your statement, and you made some phone calls and you called your cousin, rushed to the trailer hitch.
Mhm.
I think you called Brad Van Bargen, and I think Brad called you first.
Mhm.
Or I think he got a hold of you first.
Mhm.
And he decided to come over. And he comes over, you guys hang out. She's on the computer the whole time. She's working on her final
Project.
for the
something.
school.
Yeah,
Because she's graduating, what, a couple weeks?
that's September.
Oh, shit, she was that close.
Mhm.
Okay, and you and Brad are kind of hanging out talking about the car in the trailer hitch.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I remember we were watching and stuff, so it was kind of in and out.
Right. And I think in Brad's statement, he's talked about Caitlin was kind of quiet that night for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Get it?
She was just working.
Yeah, she's busy, right? She's got shit going on. She got that last project you got to get done, graduation coming up. And like Brad, Liz, I think you guys get done, hanging out. You go, she goes, and you guys get done, and Brad leaves around 10:30 and quarter 11. You hang out there a little while longer with Caitlin. Okay, and you decided you're going to hang out with some of your other friends over on Ray Street, correct? Okay, so you leave Caitlin, and she gives you the bag of documents,
Yeah.
right? I think
Thanks.
there was a lot more bank statements besides that one little bag, wasn't there? Wasn't there a whole lot more stuff?
There might have been, but I mean, I got.
You just got a bag. You just got a
She
bag,
just said, "I need to get rid of these. It's time to burn them and get ready."
right?
For moving, really, that's why she wanted to do it. That's why my mom suggested it. We're moving, and you don't want to transfer over all of those bank statements and everything with you. And she was going to leave everything in her house.
You don't want to put in a trash.
Right.
Okay.
And this is back when everything.
Pretty paper. You were sent paper every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yes.
And you go to leave, and you guys are cool that night, right? There's no problem between you guys.
No, not really. I mean, there was like a little bit of a tension because of just, she was tense from her final project and everything going on, was ready to leave, and
She got a lot of stuff going on. She's moving out.
Yeah, but we
She's
were
actually moving out.
ultimately happy,
She's also been moving out of her townhouse too, correct?
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of tension on that between you two. You leave. I think your statements between like 11. Well, you get different statements because you tell dispatch it's like midnight. So let's say between 11 and midnight, you go to the Ray Street address. You're there. You leave between I think you said it was after probably 1:30ish. You went home. Okay. Okay.
Whatever the times is.
I know there was some questions or not where you sent the good morning text. Okay, no big deal. And next morning you get up. What time did you get up the next day? Do you recall roughly? Was it one of those deals?
It was late.
It
It was pretty late because I slept in a lot back then. I mean, I didn't work till later in the evening, so pretty much.
Well, you were working second shift or late night.
So basically, slept I had to work.
Okay, so you take and I think and even in your statement you said you thought you sent that text out, and I know your computer says you were on a computer at 4 in the morning.
I think
I think at 4
maybe,
in the morning.
I think maybe I typed something, but it didn't push the send button or something. I
Okay.
think that's ultimately what it came down to.
Well, I mean,
I
I've
don't
done
know.
that myself. Someone sent me a text message. I've typed it out and thought I sent it. And
Thank you.
you think it pushed, and then I get distracted, which is easy to do. I'm that way. And next thing you know,
It's still in there.
it's still there. I'm like, well, hell, I didn't send it. I didn't send that text message.
Yeah.
And you didn't notice that at all in your messages.
Well, in the craziness of everything, I didn't notice whether or not I had actually sent it, but that was also because it wasn't like what I was prioritizing at the time. I was kind of terrified and worried, and not really looking through my phone as far as like, I went to send her messages, but I mean, like, I don't remember. Maybe I even woke up the next day and saw it and was like, oh, maybe I didn't send it, and then just didn't send it because it's already well past the morning and she's not awaking right now. So why send her a good morning text at 12, at 3 in the afternoon or something like that? So that really, I mean, that's probably, and I probably just simply forgot that I had saw it deleted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That being said, you think you got later that day, you go to work. I think in my statement you said that you got up around 4:30 that day.
That's probably right.
And
I
I think you didn't even take a shower. Then you went to straight to work, and you were on the ball for the rest of the, I think for the next hour and a half, from between 5 and like 6:30, you were in and out doing your deliveries.
Mhm.
If you, like I said, if I miss anything, or I'm not getting say something like, please stop.
I haven't noticed.
Okay, so that's pretty much, well, I think I'm taking lots from your statements back in the day. I think your last delivery that day was at 6:23. You come back to the Papa John's, and I think at 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. you had mentioned to was it Amanda?
Mhm.
Was your manager back then?
Mhm.
Amanda Sluss? Okay. That you had concerns that you were trying to get a hold of Katelyn and she had not responded.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think at that point in time, 6:30, you leave and you go check on Katelyn at her
Mhm.
times.
Mhm.
Okay. That's roughly about 6:30. I think it's what Ms. Sluss said.
Mhm.
So you go to the townhouse. I think on the way to the townhouse, you made you got a phone call.
I got a call from Matt,
Yeah.
and I also made the 911 call on the way.
Was it when you did the 911 call? Before you checked on Katelyn?
No, after I checked out.
Because you
I
had to bring your
went
money.
back to the store.
Because you had to bring your money back. You made your deliveries.
And I had to bring the money back.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and on my way back, because I was freaked out about the fact that she was there and she wasn't. That's what made me think that something was going on.
Yeah. Now, going on, you're on the way to Katelyn's house. You get a phone call from Matt.
Mhm.
I think in his statement his written statement, he wrote out that you guys talked and you made your concerns about you haven't heard from Katelyn yet that day. And you go and you pull up. You're going you see between the buildings. You're coming Dorshire, and you see her car,
Mhm.
and now you're really concerned. Okay, you go to that parking lot. You pull in.
Concerned because she should be at work at that
What time did she work that day? You remember?
time. I don't.
I mean, because it's
I think she
6:30.
got off at 7.
Okay.
But that's part of why I was so concerned, because maybe she wouldn't text me throughout her work day,
Right.
but at a certain point she would like go to the bathroom and just send me like, I'm okay.
But she's got a minute.
Yeah, if she has a minute, she'll send me something. And I just hadn't gotten anything. And I had been sending her messages throughout the day.
Okay.
And I wasn't getting anything from her.
And was that abnormal not to get something back?
Right. That was part of the biggest thing, was like, honestly, we spent every day together. Like, there was very rarely we weren't together.
Mhm.
And when it became that, it was like, oh, the normal things that we normally do aren't happening now. And that's very suspicious.
Because you said you guys are very,
I gotta be honest with you, my relationships seem to be that way. Sarah and I, we spend all of our time together. And I mean,
but you guys have a set way of doing things. I mean, like
we had a schedule.
That's what I meant to
in a
say.
way, yeah. Because
Everybody's got a schedule. Everybody's got their thing that they do.
well, and we have to make sure that we can see each other. We want to see each other. So, we have to plan out like there, and I'll talk to you then, I'll see you then, I'll do this or that kind of thing. So lived our lives together. We lived.
You guys are intertwined.
Yeah.
Now, you pull back parking lot. You're concerned now because her car is there, and she should be either at work or coming home from work. Okay. You put the key in the door, let them go in, and you go straight to her room, correct? Okay.
Of course, I look around. I call out.
Right. So you call out her name. You're not hearing anything. You go straight to her bedroom. Okay. You open her door, see Murphy in there in the bedroom. He's made some messes. Her purse, I think in one of your statements, it was like underneath a chair. Maybe. Okay. Don't worry. No. We're not here to.
Yeah, I know, and you gotta understand. Like,
That's why
this is
that's
all,
okay.
Like, this is all just like reminding me.
Right.
And it's a lot. It's
It
just
is,
a lot.
it is.
Sorry.
Dude, no need to apologize. It really isn't.
It's a traumatic experience.
Yeah, I mean, you've been through a lot. You and your whole family has. Her, and don't get me wrong. Her family.
She has.
You know,
it
your
was,
whole.
It was her that died.
Yeah.
It was her.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. And I feel guilty. Like, she died. She doesn't get to live her life anymore. It's not fair.
No, it's not.
It's not.
You know, that's one thing I've gotten from everybody who I've talked to, and like I said, I have a better understanding of Katelyn was she lit up everybody's life for the positive. And she is no longer here to do that anymore. Like I said, like I told you over the phone, it would be different if she'd had a car accident. You can kind of move on because it was an accident. This here was, this was purposeful.
But I mean, on top of all of it, it just ropes me in. I am the statistic.
Yeah.
Everyone looks at me and I am the statistic. So I can't do anything. Everyone's already accusing me before I even look at
Yeah.
it. Before they've even met me or known me. Before they even have heard the truth or what the truth actually is. And I'd love that peace of mind. I'd love to know the truth. I'd love to find out what happened.
There's something that you have to have in your own mind, though, is that being said, people going to have their thoughts, but you know, you've not been charged anywhere. All that we're doing is asking questions. At any point in time, you get walk out that door, and we're glad. I know that you're going.
There's a moment. There's a moment of all that. And I realized that I was not
Tell around her, you found that she's missing.
And there was a moment where I felt I couldn't hold myself up because it was loss.
Overwhelming.
Tremendously so. And to a point where it was so tremendously overwhelming that it was unforgettable. And whenever I have this, whenever we do this, it brings that moment in. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you do. It brings me to this moment where I am in front of her house, not knowing where she is, or what I can do to help her, or keep her here, or figure out where to go to find her and bring her home. And it was, I had nowhere else to go, no one else to call. No other thoughts, no other opinions. No one else was guiding me. No one was telling me what to do. And even now, I have no one to tell me what to do, or what to say.
There's no book. There's no script for this, brother. There isn't. There's no script for you to say, John, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to feel. This is
And
how you're supposed to
I'm
move on.
currently being told by my wife that I should bring a lawyer to these things, that I should do those things. I'm not doing that because I don't think, first of all, I feel like I've already fucked myself. If it came down to me needing a lawyer, I've already been here enough without one that it really doesn't matter what I say. I also know for a fact that I don't have anything that I can say that's going to make it seem like I did something, except for obviously the polygraph situation, which I don't fully understand, and I I don't get why that happened or why it's like that.
Mhm.
But beyond that, like, I don't have anything I can say. I don't have anything I can do or make you think that I did something because there is nothing there. There's nothing. And I just,
Let me ask you a question. That being said, do you feel, I think I know the answer to this, you want me to keep looking? I told you.
Yes.
That next question, I told you this 2 years ago. It's been 2 years since me you told me this. I told you I was going to keep looking at
yes,
and where we at.
still looking.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
Don't stop.
I'm not.
And I'm
told
looking you in the eyes just like I did last time.
Yes.
Do it.
I am. That's what I'm here for. I told you I wasn't going to stop. That's one thing about me. I can't. I'm too stupid to stop.
And get the right fucking person.
That's why I'm asking you guys. I'm asking you to ask questions about, because there's some things only you know.
Okay.
So we go back. Okay, you grab a purse. You notice cell phone's not there.
Mhm.
Okay, you go through the purse. Pocketbook's there. Okay, Murphy's still in the room, and I'm painting this picture for you. And you see her charger's still charged up. No phone. You're getting angst, and you go to her purse and you grab her keys.
Mhm.
You go. I think you said in one of your statements you took keys downstairs.
Mhm.
I think in another statement you gave, you also alluded to that you had checked her car, her
I
phone.
may, if it was an earlier statement, I may have.
I think it's the reason why you grabbed her keys.
To check for her phone. I mean,
Yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes,
That I would do that.
absolutely. And I would think that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the questions we have. Okay.
That would make sense that I went to look for her phone.
Okay. If you can, remember and in detail as possible, describe to me when you get to her car, you put the keys and you put the key and you unlock her car, or if it's a key fob, you unlock her car. What did you do? Look, just looking for a phone. Just looking
I
for
mean,
a
I
phone.
probably opened her driver's side door and looked at the center console.
Okay. Did you go to the back of the car, Andy? I mean, I know you're probably,
No, I really don't think so, but I may have like opened it and looked, or maybe I don't. I don't remember.
okay.
I really don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
No,
I really don't.
there's no reason you apologize.
I know,
We're here for the truth.
but I want to get it. I want to give you the truth. I want to give you what I
No,
remember.
I want you to, I'm going to show you a photo.
Yeah.
of her car.
Yes.
Now, I want you to tell me, these will be pictures of her car from the inside. Now, these are photographs of the inside of her car, okay? Now, tell me if that looks like her car to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirtier.
You know, you guys are young, and
Yeah.
she's going to school, working 2 jobs, and, you know, let me move it one. Okay. That's the couple shots of the outside of the car. Okay. Now, here's my question to you. Katelyn was about, what, 5'3",
Mhm.
about 130 pounds, maybe?
Mhm.
Okay. What do you notice about this photograph?
That is far back.
Yeah.
Maybe I moved him when I was looking for the phone to look under the seat, but I don't know. I really don't.
Okay. Well, look at both seats. Look at this is the passenger side.
They're both back. So maybe probably like if I move this one, then move that one, and then move both back to look around. It's very possible.
Well,
but
my
again,
question is, I mean, would you have moved those seats? Because I talked to the investigator, he took these photographs, and we actually talked to the tow truck driver. He said, we all think the tow truck driver said, he goes, we pulled up on the back, we backed it up, we drug it up on the skid or the back, the roll back, and we stuck it in the garage, and that was that. He goes, so my question is this, both those seats been moved back like that. Is that alarming to you?
That is, yeah, that's weird. That's very weird.
And this is the back seat, what I'm showing you here.
Right, which
And
is
that's
really
I mean, she can't reach those pedals from there.
no, probably not. I would say no.
I mean, that's a big question. That's like, who the hell's
That
in
is
that car
very
besides?
strange.
Who the hell's in that car besides her? Because she ain't driving the back seat.
Well, like I said, I mean, either maybe I looked at the car, but I hadn't driven.
And you really don't remember if you, I mean, you said you're going to
I
pay
don't remember.
the console, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't
the
remember.
console you're for sure about, right?
Yeah, and likely I probably would have moved the seats up and back to check underneath or between the seat, or, to see if I could shake the phone loose from between the seat there. I mean, like that, it's something I have done with my own car. I've done
Right,
it,
we all have.
so yeah, maybe I did pull them back. It's a high probability, but I definitely did not move or drive the car.
I mean, now you see why we wanted to come in. I mean, this is trouble.
That's strange.
It is very strange.
But like I said, I didn't move or drive the car at all.
I was going to ask, you mentioned earlier about, and I'm sorry again, I not worked on this case like home, so I don't know. You mentioned that you and Katelyn, if there was some tension or something that
It wasn't like a fight, not at all. What it really came down to was Katelyn was a little bit frustrated that I wanted to keep my night going.
Okay.
While she just went to bed.
Okay.
But I basically kind of treated it like she'll get
Okay.
it. And that was the tension. Realistically, it was just that. I was just like, yeah, sure.
So it wasn't like an argument.
I don't know. No, like I said, she was just disappointed that she had to be doing school stuff, and here I go hanging out with friends. And
Then how did the documents thing? How did that?
I basically just got there and was like, "This is all Katelyn's stuff," and and they had a fire pit in the back, but it was like slightly raining. But I was just like, "I'm burning it." I just burned it. I mean, that's really what it came down to.
I see. She gave those to you before you left.
Again, the tension was there, but she's handing me this stuff. We're still going to Colorado. There is no change there.
Okay.
Like everything is still exactly as
Everything going as planned.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right. And so then you went to this party, right, where you burned the documents.
Yeah, I mean, I only was out there because, like I said, it was kind of sprinkling, so I was only out there long enough to watch it burn a little bit.
Okay. Inside. Okay. All right. You remember anything else about the party?
Not specifically, no.
Okay.
It's trying to be, I'm stupid with this thing. That's to TV shows. It's trying to be what?
I was obsessed.
Was it? Tell me about it. This is not what
White Collar it's this currently, he's a now really big actor. Before, that was like his first role, but the main character, I can't remember his name. But it's basically about a guy who was a fraud agent who he wasn't a fraud agent, he was a frauder. He was committing fraud and making fake paintings and fake checks and fake all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he gets caught. And then in getting caught, he winds up working for the FBI, like Frank Abagnale. Mm-hmm. And each episode is about how they uncover a new case. And basically it's like a rat for this over and over again type of thing. Right. And I mean, that's pretty much the whole synopsis right there. It's like
how many seasons? I mean, was it how many seasons did they have?
6 or 7.
6 seasons.
I mean, honestly, I got to a point where I stopped watching it because after all that happened, it was like, what's the point of watching anything? This is. And then after a while, I started watching more shows, but I just moved on. I didn't keep really watching.
How did you? I mean, was it something you could? Did you?
I stole it. Streaming.
So that explain to me how. Listen, I know today we're in the world of Netflix and Hulu and all this kind of stuff.
This was a free site.
How does this work?
You would basically download what's called a torrent, which is essentially something where you can download those movies and stuff. Actually, no, I think I took that directly from the streaming site. And it was just one of these like behind the things. Like I asked a friend who told me that This is a site you can go to get free movies, free shows and stuff.
Is it kind of like Napster back in the day?
Pretty much, but for videos.
But for videos.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What was the site?
I can't not remember. I only used it, like, they only are up for a little bit, and then you use another. Because they get shut down because it's an illegal site downloading shit. So next, find the next one and just ask a friend again, you know.
Was it mega upload? Because the feds shut that.
Maybe. Yeah, they shut down a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Shut down. So I don't know for sure.
So explain to me how, as an old person, explain to me how this actually worked back then. How would you get onto the computer and what would you do?
Just go to the website. I think you use something. I mean, I know at one point I used something called Pirate Bay, but I think the site, you could literally just click the episode and like it would have like a whole bunch of the same episode, and some of them would work and some of them have been shut down. So they just keep loading it in, and and then you just click the top one and watch it and let it play through and then move on to the next one. Sometimes it would glitch out, sometimes it would like shit, get a different one or something like that.
So some of the pirated videos were better quality than some of the other pirated videos.
Yeah.
So you could select.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I will point out that Fairfield Detective Agency had pointed out that I had also watched some porn. Yeah, I watched some porn. I did. Normal stuff. Not like poopy or.
Let me explain something. I'm too concerned about porn is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We don't like to watch it.
Right.
So it's the same thing with sex toys. We don't like to watch it.
Well, but that was the thing, is they brought it up. They were like, well, here's the thing, you didn't tell us. Watch porn. And I was like, why would I tell you that I watch porn? I mean, ultimately, you have my computer. You can see that I watch it. But for me to just go, oh yeah, I watch my TV shows and movie porn. Like, I just didn't think to tell you that because.
A little embarrassing.
I would.
Now, John, could you? Yeah, and I'm thinking about Netflix and all the current stuff. Like nowadays, people like binge watch, stream, all that.
That's what I was basically doing for the majority of it. Just watching like.
Okay, so does it, when you binge watched it, when you go into one of these pirated things, like maybe not uploads or something, can you get like multiple ones at once or how?
Now you have to click each one.
Okay,
Yeah. With that, it's like literally you click on the episode, it pulls up all of the available episodes, you click it and you watch it.
okay,
When that episode is over, it ends and you have to go back to the screen that shows all of the episodes, click the next one, and that lists all the ones available, and then you click that one.
okay.
That's how they all work.
So there is no binging, like binging.
You
is
couldn't
where-
just repeat it. You couldn't just let it play.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. So white collar is one of the things you watched and you've been asked about that before.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Wanted to ask you, so Dan, can I talk to, can I ask about so you had mentioned your computer. And like, I think early on in the investigation, did they look at your computer or?
They did.
Okay, so they asked you about the porn and stuff like
That's
that?
why they asked, because they looked at my computer and all that stuff
Okay.
on it, especially from that day. I mean, they talked to me about what they found. Stuff a little bit.
Okay, what did they ask you about what they found?
They asked me about what I was watching. They said that they had seen that I had watched stuff on there, and they had said that they had asked me about that's a lot of porn. Like, I'm also 20-something year old kid, but
Yeah.
you know, watch a lot of porn. Katelyn never cared. In fact, Sarah, my wife right now, and her both were sitting on my laptop at the time, looking at the porn I had downloaded because they thought it was funny. Then when I got home, they were just laughing about it. Like, this is the porn you watch? This is silly. This is ridiculous. And I was like, yeah. And Katelyn didn't care. Katelyn, and you can even ask Sarah, Katelyn didn't care. Sarah cares.
Yeah.
Sarah cares.
Yeah.
Caitlin didn't care.
She didn't care. What? Not at all.
Not really. Not that I looked at porn. She didn't bother.
Okay. Let me ask you, so white collar, it looks like, because again, I don't know this case as well as Paul, so I did kind of look. It looks like based on some of the stuff that they brought from your computer many years ago, you watched some white collar. Okay, so you remember that, like coming home, and this is after the bonfire, is that right? Okay. So you came back from the bonfire and you watched white collar.
Or I watched
Okay.
and then watch my color.
Okay. All right. So based on what I see, it looks like there was 3 episodes of white collar.
Sounds about right, about 45 minutes long.
Okay.
And then I think sometimes there are ads in some of them.
Oh, so they had the commercials and stuff.
Sometimes they don't. I didn't care.
Because it was free.
I see. So it was okay. So I'm thinking that this was a TV show, right?
Correct. On
So-
USA.
Yes. Okay. So it might have ads from, depending on the version or whatever that you got. Okay. So they could be differing links.
Yeah.
Depends
Yeah.
on the ads and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So later in the day, so you're telling Paul, like, what, you got up late the next day?
Because I stayed up late watching my color. I didn't care. It always pissed me off how late I slept. But like you were saying, like it is. I mean, I didn't work till late. Didn't need to get up for anything. Katelyn would get up early to go to Dave's bridal or school or whatever. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like she needed me or anything.
Okay.
So I just took advantage of it. I'd stay up late, sleep late, and I did that way.
Okay. All right. So I did find something interesting. So there's 3 episodes of White Collar. Season 2, episode 12, episode 13, episode 14. You said they're about 45 minutes apiece?
Something like that.
Okay. Then later in the day, I guess after you've gotten up, you look at the plot summaries for the same. It's on your computer.
I mean, I don't know why. I didn't
Yeah.
look up any plot summaries.
Yeah, I mean, so later in the day, so I'm converting this from the military time, but about 3:17, you look at the plot summary for episode 13, which is the one that you watched the night before, which just like maybe
I
just,
don't remember doing that. Did I look it up on IMDb? Like I
yeah,
don't normally do that, so I don't know why.
yeah, there is a synopsis, basic plot summary for episode 13,
Okay.
and then plot summary for episode 14. And that bothered me. I'll be honest, that kind of bothered me a little bit because in some of your viewing, it kind of made sense because like maybe you're about to watch episode 10. I'm talking about like before, like a few days before.
Mhm.
So you looked at a plot summary for episode 9. That kind of makes sense. We all understand that. Like, oh, what happened? But it was weird to me that you would look at like a synopsis for something you just watched a few hours ago.
Yeah, I don't remember doing that. I didn't do that. I slept. I mean, if cooperatingly slept, you can ask my mom. I was asleep.
Well, I can tell you this. Part of your fundraisers, you made a phone call, and I believe it's 2:24. Not John's. I don't want to call Papa John's because you're going to the whole thing. But there again, you call Papa John's. You also text message Nate Iden. See why you bring my kids?
Yeah.
And I think you also text Penny Harris.
Okay.
And it was all prior to 4:30.
Right. And this would have been at about 3:30 or 3:20, somewhere around there. And I'll be honest, John, it was odd to me because I don't normally even look at summary for something that I just watched a few hours before.
Yeah, I, again, don't know why it pulled up a plot summary, but it could be from me just like clicking back, like exiting out of things, going back or something like that. I mean, that could have easily been why. But I don't generally look at plot summaries even days later. I just watch the previously on thing, which
Okay.
those have. So all of those episodes have previously on white collar. So I don't look up plot summaries. I don't know why that was on there. But maybe again, it's because I had clicked back on it. Maybe there is a missing point where I did like look at my computer, talk to people. I really don't know. And honestly, at a certain point, I just don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, like, so for instance, this is like at 3:17 that day. Your computer basically has this IMD website, which is, and I just plug this in and it takes you right here. And this is the episode 13. This is the plot for episode 13, which is what, according to what you told Paul and what the computer says, was what happened just a few hours before. So when I see like synopsis, I'm like, oh, synopsis of what? I'm like, well, I thought John just watched that just a little while earlier. So,
well, and there's also a likely situation. So wait, are these all in chronological order here?
yeah. So I'll show you.
We can
Don't mind showing you. Yeah, I don't mind showing you this. I mean,
Yeah, we're not hiding anything here.
yeah. So this is obviously there was. You're exactly right. There is a lot of porn. Tons of porn. There's tons of porn. So I haven't put any of the porn on.
No, that's good.
This is the white collar episodes that we were talking about. So and
this is at 3 a.m. or p.m.
No, this is this is in the morning. So this would be about the computer shows activity at about 1:39, 1:40, and then you watch some episodes of white collar. Okay. You told me they're about 45 minutes a piece. Okay, so you can see there's like time gaps. And then there's like break-in activity. And then again, yes, like you said, there's porn. I mean, whenever you got up,
Probably looked at porn or whatever.
there's porn. And then sprinkled in there are like these plot summaries.
Okay, so if I was waking up, I probably looked at porn, and those were probably part of the, like, either I was clicking out of something or I was like going through stuff. I mean, it could have just simply have been an accidental click. It could have been anything, but I wasn't reading plot summaries.
Okay.
They were just either I was obviously watching it the night before, I got on it the next day, and these things were probably either still up on my computer and I moved around things to get to what I was doing there, or what. I don't know, but I didn't look at it.
Okay. But you remember watching it.
I remember watching those the night before, yeah.
Okay.
All three of them? All three?
I don't know specifically how
Like,
many
I
I watched.
think it was like 12, 13, and 14.
Okay.
What the computer says.
Was this normal to go home and watch? Like, you kind of stayed
Yeah.
up at night.
Yeah, I stayed up late a lot.
So you have to-
No.
Okay. Go ahead, Paul. Thanks for.
It's okay.
I wanted to try to figure that out. That still kind of is weird, but.
I don't have an answer for you though.
Okay.
I don't know computers that well either.
Okay. Well, yeah, actually, we had talked about this earlier, and it isn't.
Okay.
So you, so Mega Upload was the site that you use.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of times, especially with like synopsis and stuff, they are like linked to each other, and like if you click on the one thing, then it might open up both of them. But I maybe was clicking out of something and it opened that up. Sometimes when you have the videos themselves up still, like as a background thing, when the thing is over, it'll automatically open. So maybe when I woke up the next day, it just finished the episodes and it opened it. I don't know.
Okay,
But I can't explain computers to you. I have no idea.
okay, all right, all right.
I can tell you what I know, and I know that I didn't look up those plots. I don't remember doing that.
Okay.
But that's what I do know.
Okay, all right. And did you go to bed after watching this? You don't, okay, all right. And you had to click on one at a time. Is that what you told me?
Mhm.
Long but take it down.
Wow.
So,
No, you take that back. Once you start, like sometimes the videos are choppy. And if you like sit there and let it load because it's streaming,
right.
you just let it load a little bit, it'll start working. So sometimes I would do that, just kind of wait it out. But sometimes, sometimes they just work.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've never heard of that.
It's a really good show.
I'd heard of it, but it's been a long time. It was on USA a few years ago. Okay.
Give me a body break.
No, just ready.
Okay.
I mean, I do eventually gotta go back to work. So.
Okay. We'll try to hurry this up. Get back to your guys' cell phones, just briefly. Her phone goes dark at 12:06. Never comes back on.
Mhm.
Your cell phone doesn't go dark, what we call dark. We call it goes in activity at 12:04, and there's no activity for the next 14 to 15 hours. Is that unusual for you to?
No, I don't like sometimes, especially at that hour, there's no one texting.
Okay.
There's no one, and I don't look at my phone, especially at that time. I don't even know if I had a Facebook yet. Like I didn't really look at my phone that often unless I got a text or I got something.
Because we had someone look at the phone numbers back in the past and say that was unusual for you to be receiving a text. Well, I mean, there again, even you at your own mission said you thought you sent Katelyn a text at 4 in the morning. So it was not unusual. It was unusual for you to be that many hours without any messages or phone calls or.
I mean, I was already at the friend's house that I planned on being at, and Katelyn was in bed, as far as I knew.
Have you talked to any of your buddies about what we talked to them about? What we talked to them about? Maybe like Matt,
And I talked to Matt a little bit, but
John Palmerton. You talked to him any? Mike Palmerton. You thought I sent you, okay? Saturday night, August 13th. Okay. You go to your party to that street, run the documents, bring everyone along at the appointment, and you come back to the house. Okay. We have information that this is from two different people that I'll tell you the story. Two people were walking down the street, and at approximately between, they say is 1:30 to 2 o'clock in the morning, they see or they hear two cars coming, and they are juveniles at the time. And they're scared to death because they are juveniles. You know how Fairfield PD is with juveniles at that time. It's late night, and they see two cars pull up, and they hide behind a tree. Some evergreens that were in there. They see two cars pull up, and the two cars lights are blacked out. And they see a red Ford Focus pull into the driveway at your residence, 5101 West Scioto at the time, right?
Mhm.
And that was your address at the time, right? It was on mom. And they see a darker blue four-door sedan right behind the Ford Focus.
Mhm.
The red Ford Focus pulls into the driveway. Garage door opens up. They see the car pull into the garage. Garage door shuts. The blue car stays out on the street.
Okay, well, there's a problem.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. Let me finish the story then.
Okay.
They blue car stays on the street. Between 5 and 15 minutes later, garage door pulls back open. Car pulls back out. Both cars are still blacked out, and they go back the same way they coming down West Scioto towards a cow, the west side that comes down towards your house.
Mhm.
And they see the two cars. Red car pulls out, the car turns around, and they go the same way they come back out. Heading back towards West Scioto,
Mhm.
heading towards River Road.
Mhm.
Same story they told. They told they were heading, they were going to a party that night. They were going to a party to meet some girls. And they said they are positive what they seen that night.
Mhm.
Now
I can't.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I told you the gist of the story.
Yeah, yeah. I have my story. That's what happened.
Right.
I did. I don't park in my garage. I parked in the driveway every night.
Mhm.
And I will say beyond, didn't have anything to do with that. I don't know what story that is. Was that, you said Saturday night?
Saturday night to Sunday morning.
I don't know.
And so technically it would have been, this 1:30 in the morning, 1:32, we're talking about early the 14th.
Uh-huh.
And they got a third person backing them up that he took them to the party and picked them up in close proximity to your house. The third person. They were like, oh shit, that was weird, because they thought they were going to get busted by a Fairfield police department. When in doubt, it was a red Ford Focus and a blue four-door sedan.
Have anything for you? Those people, I don't know.
Right.
That's not, I told you I did. And where I was at home.
They were pretty certain about that.
So,
The time does match up with you. I mean, it's like you said, that time when I was showing you the time that these people say that you arrived
Mhm.
is consistent.
I didn't go anywhere.
So
I
you got
stayed at
home and
home.
you stayed.
I got home and I stayed home. And in fact, my stepdad would wake up ridiculously early to do work. And he got up pretty early that morning to do work, and my car was there in the driveway. Steve and my mom both parked in the garage.
Okay.
And they were both of their cars were in there. I never parked in my garage. So that story is already flawed. On top of the fact that none of that happened. None of it. I
Okay.
went home. I got inside. I watched my shows. I did porn. I laid down. I went to bed. I think that is pretty much what happened as far as I can remember it at this point in this whole situation.
Mhm.
And I don't have, you feel free to bring the witnesses in. I don't know what to tell you. There's no more I can prove to you.
They gave statements. They gave statements back. This is not something new.
Okay.
It really isn't. This is something they did their statements back in the day. Shortly after Hickman's body was found, because they didn't put two together until like they went, shit. That's what we seen that night.
Okay, but I don't know what they saw or who. I can't tell you.
Okay.
There was no blue stand, and blue stand that could be.
One of your friends was driving.
As far as I know, though, it was Jeff who drove a blue Ford Focus, but
Rutledge.
yeah,
Nobody else?
no. And I didn't leave after I went home.
You were home that whole time in the morning.
After the party, I'm
After
pretty
the
sure.
party.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You're pretty sure?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously it's been years down the
I
line.
understand that,
But
you-
I didn't leave. I didn't like go drive my car somewhere. No.
Speaking of Mr. Rutledge, I went and talked to him. And he gave us a brief statement. You know, Jeff's kind of elusive with us.
Mhm.
And Jeff's talked about, he's seen you guys at night at the festival. That was Friday night.
Mhm.
And Jeff said he was seeing you guys at the festival. I guess he showed up afterward.
Mhm.
You guys, I guess you were there for the big drawing at night.
I wanted to try it.
And this is Jeff talking. Yeah, he said hi to you. He seemed kind of out of sorts. And he said, I guess he said hi to you, and you didn't say hi back, which is unusual. Jeff said, because you guys are, like you, I think you said that core group of guys.
Okay.
And then you didn't say hi to him. He goes, you can tell there was something wrong between you and Katelyn that night. He said, and
She was frustrated, and I
to the point, dude. She says to the point. He says to the point, dude, that it looked like they were going to break up. And I was like, dang, that's pretty. I mean, I know some of the people upset that there was tension that night, but to the point of you guys breaking up.
No.
So Katelyn wasn't having any second thoughts about moving to
Not that I'm
Colorado.
aware of. No, not that she had made me aware of. Okay, so as far as like anything like that, if she felt that way or if it seemed that way to him, that's all fine. But I was.
This is
not
his
aware.
observation.
Yeah, I was not aware of that kind of tension. Katelyn, I remember, was like already just kind of tense and frustrated, but all of that, again, a lot to do with her getting ready for school to be over, for us getting ready to move. And there was just a lot of like things building up around that. And just, but the plan was still the same as far as I knew. Everything was exactly the way it was supposed to be going at that particular time.
Right.
So.
Did Katelyn get frustrated with, I mean, you're now like, you know, the last blower and, you know, seem to found your way and life and stuff.
Mhm.
But at the time, I think you were kind of bouncing around and working as, and she seemed to be, I mean, just my limited experience, she seemed to be really motivated. Very
Yeah.
artistic, very
Yeah.
driven,
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, I think
Was
she
there-
was probably worried that I wasn't going anywhere or doing anything. But at the same time, like I still had drive,
Mhm.
still had an ability to get things done. And for the most part, while she was in college, I was helping her through a lot of that stuff. Again, her dad paid for a lot of her groceries and stuff, but like I was a part of her life. I helped her through college. It wasn't just like I worked my ass off and I kept working.
Mhm.
And it wasn't just the money for me, that was for us. And she knew that.
So, but there was there tension sometimes over maybe having a little different.
No, we didn't necessarily like I helped her, but we didn't depend on each other for money. It wasn't like, you know, I was constantly completely flat broke. But I mean, no, it wasn't like we were fighting over that, over money. That really wasn't ever a big deal.
No, I didn't. I wasn't thinking money. I was thinking more. You know, sometimes one person has, you know, they want to get something out of life that's different than the person they're partnered
No,
up with.
I wanted to do art as well. I wanted to be a part of that idea too. But it, you know, no, it wasn't.
Okay.
Was you ever, speaking of art, I thought someone told me that you were, you wrote poetry every now and then. And a couple of kids, you were writing a book. Are you
I wanted to, and no, not really. I mean, I like to write sometimes as like a hobby, and sometimes I write poetry for
Right.
Katelyn, or if I was really hard up for that, I could use poetry to help me escape. And, yeah, occasionally I write stuff.
So you ever talk about writing a book?
Yeah, I had an idea for a book where a guy would, and that honestly happened. The idea for the book happened after Katelyn passed away. Because the idea behind the book was that a person would lose somebody very close to them, just like I did, because I write my experiences. You know, I can't write something I don't know. And then discover that in their dreams, they're able to control the way that the future goes by going back into their dream and trying to fix things. There was a point when I was debating whether or not I wanted him to be able to go back and save the person he had lost, or if he had to accept the facts. And I just had thoughts. It wasn't ever written down as far as I know.
Kind of like science fiction, almost. Something.
Yeah, I like sci-fi.
It sounds like. So what was the premise of the book? And you said this happened after Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you came up with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
The
idea is
dream,
you go in and try to
dream,
fix.
the dream portion of the idea happened before Katelyn. Because I actually had a dream where this whole Matt comes into the room of my apartment at the time, Matt Road Camp, and he's like, check it out. There's this ripping space, and I go into it, and there's this woman, and she goes, I'm going to tell you how to travel through time. She grabs me and pulls me through the water and throws me forward, and I land in my preschool, like looking at myself, and I'm like, whoa. I start talking to myself, saying, this is going to happen to you, this is going to happen to you, and I wake up. And it was just such an impactful dream that it made me want to write something that had to do with that. The idea behind not a time machine, but the fact that you can go into your own consciousness, affect your dream, which your dreams affect your day, right? If you have a scary dream, you start off scared.
Yeah.
You know, so you change time by going through your own consciousness. That was the whole idea. And then the loss idea came after Katelyn, because I was trying to use that particular type of writing for that reason.
And to kind of work through what had happened?
Yeah. And I maybe have written like a couple of starters, but nothing that actually unfolded into anything real.
Because I got to bring this up to you. I got to bring it up because I heard that you were writing a book about people mysteriously disappearing.
Oh, okay. So then the book continues.
Okay.
Right? Because he's been affecting everything in his own brain,
Right.
and that affects reality. This causes you to jump through, and please bear with me.
Oh yeah.
I'm following so far.
Yeah.
So far.
So the idea is that universes are created every decision we make.
Mhm.
Each person creates the universe that goes along with their choices. Animals,
Right or
everything.
left.
Exactly. You know. So in that, because you're doing these dream things, literally you're going back in time to the dream of that consciousness and affecting everything from following times after that dream. So the current era person goes back to before time, affects a dream that then affects the trajectory of the future, which is the alternate universe, the alternate choice. And this person goes back into his own head over and over and over to a point where he starts bringing himself out of the realm of the decision making. You know, we started adding decision after decision, which leads down to this path where the earth, everything around it, wants to correct itself. In order for it to correct itself, it has to evaporate. And so what happens is that all these people start losing their minds because they're on the fringe part of reality, the fringe dimension, where it's almost gone. There's almost nothing left. And so they start to lose their minds. They force people to leave them alone and back away. Again, this is part of a catharsis for me. Like when you're in trauma, it's what you want. You don't want to be around people. You don't want these people to talk to you, ask questions, all of that stuff. So it's just kind of like a cathartic kind of, the earth is trying to correct itself, make things better, or at the very least to transfer these people to a safer place. But it seems so violent now. I'm also very into the idea of an inconceptual reality where we don't fully understand or grasp everything around us. However, with this, I'm trying to create this kind of conceptual idea that there's an edge. There's a point where you can't really change time. You can't change so many things before it starts trying to fix itself. Because reality is fixed. You know, reality happens, and that is it. Shouldn't be able to change it. And that was why I wanted to come up with a retaliation for going over this theoretical border. You know, if we figured this out, if we figured out time travel, then, you know, there's got to be something that goes, this isn't right, this isn't how the world works. So that's what I was kind of going with.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, people would like lose their minds, leave me alone, and then they'd run into a room and they'd either burst into flames and their clothes would be on fire, or they'd just disappear. Clothes would be just sitting.
The end game. Like in Avengers.
Yeah.
They just-
Yeah, it's like a snap, but it's really random. You know, like it's not supposed to be understood. That was part of it. Was that you weren't supposed to understand why. You weren't supposed to be at the end of this movie and go, that all makes sense. You're supposed to be at the end of this book, this movie, because that's how I see it in my head. You're supposed to approach the end of this thing and go, that I don't understand that, and that's okay. That was the
Yeah,
whole
you have to be
idea.
okay without the understanding.
So that was the whole point of this. That idea.
Do you think this was your way with dealing, or some of this thought process was how you dealt with Katelyn's, you know?
A lot of the thinking was, yeah. Sometimes I would even write poetry, and it would be just about the loss and how she's just suddenly gone, and I don't know how to handle it. You know.
When you go back to, are you thinking that you need to change things that you wish you had done differently, or?
No, and like I said, when I wrote that idea and the book behind it, was like, do I let him save her and they move forward through the story, or do I let him move on? And that's why I never really wrote it, because I didn't know what to do. Like I wrote the first few parts, but
So you think in the book you could go back to save her? Is that kind of what you're saying?
no, not necessarily. I think that in the book it was going to be an attempt to go back and save her, but ultimately I don't think I would have wanted it to. I want to be as close to myself as possible. So I mean, I can't believe that I could.
Let me, I know we had talked about this earlier, but the car that Paul talked to you about, the statement that these people had made. No, not that. Your red Ford Focus. Anybody else borrow your car back then? Anybody else drive a red Ford Focus? That was in your friend group?
Yeah, there was one person, but I don't remember his name, and he wasn't around very much.
And blue sedan, the only one that you can think of is Jeff
It's
Rutledge?
Jeff's, yeah.
Okay, not any of the other guys, Mike
can't
Holmton, John Holmton, any of the other guys? Okay.
I just remember that Jeff had a blue Ford Focus because I have a red.
So that makes you remember.
That just helped me.
We're focused.
Yeah.
Okay, so the best of your recollection, you went home that night and watched White Collar episodes.
Mhm.
So the statements about the red, the car returning and leaving?
Yeah, I watched White Collar. I went to bed. All the stuff I had said before. I did not leave. I don't leave.
Yeah, forgive me. I know I'm going over things I know you've probably gone over, but your phone also was something that I know was examined back then. You deleted text messages between you and Kayla. What was that?
That was an utter and complete horrific accident. The idea was, again, not great with computers, not at all. And what I had done, the way that the phone worked, I went to just delete a few messages because it said it was going to start deleting all of my messages if I didn't delete some so that I could receive messages. I've been receiving massive amounts of messages about Katelyn, about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So as those started coming in, I started worrying that Katelyn's messages would start to get deleted. So I went through and carefully tried to select each one. And then when I pushed the delete button, it deleted all of them, except for ones that seemed to be like pocket saved or something. I had like a handful of ones left behind, but it almost deleted every other one. And I don't know why. But I had given the phone. They had all of the information. I had not deleted it before I gave it to them the first time. And I really didn't mean to do that. And I know what it looks like.
Yeah, and I'll be honest.
I'm aware of that. There's nothing I can do about that. It was a complete and utter accident.
Right. Yeah, again, not knowing the case as well as Paul, that was one of the things that stuck out to me.
I understand that, but at the same time, like I said, they had the phone. There was nothing deleted when they originally had my phone the first time they took it. That was literally that day. They had my phone for hours, and they didn't copy anything. I didn't make that mistake. I made the mistake of accidentally deleting it before they could make a decision to copy everything.
Okay. And it was an accident that you deleted
Absolutely.
Katelyn's message.
Absolutely, because I did want to go back and read them. I did want to see them. I had messages from her going way back.
So you accidentally deleted the whole?
Everything but the ones that pocket dialed saved. I'm telling you, every message was deleted. And then they wanted to come to me and say, well, why weren't these messages deleted? I can't explain why those got saved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. But almost every other message I had was gone. I had, how it shows the whole screen of messages? I had this many messages at the top of my screen.
Right.
A lot of them got deleted. And I did not do that on purpose. I really just didn't want those messages to get deleted. And by the time it happened, it happened.
Have you saved that phone?
No. Maybe, but I don't know where. I really don't.
Do you think you still have it?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
If you did have it, would you have it at your apartment? Or do you have any
I have
idea?
a house. But
Yeah,
It's a nice house.
It is a nice house. I like to do it.
I like the trim. I like the trim too.
Sarah does a lot of that.
That trim of the doorway on that, I really like that.
I did. As a matter of fact, we drove down the street. I'm kind of like, and then looked at it.
Mhm.
So very nice. So do you think you have it at your house now?
No,
No.
it would be possibly at my mom's house if I had it. But you have to understand, I've moved 3 or 4 times.
Oh, I understand.
Okay.
And I
So it's there's a box full of old shit in it. Bye. I have a family. I have a life.
I understand.
What's your little girl?
4.
4 years old.
Yeah.
And another one on the way. How long? They want me to ask you how long is she?
So it's almost 8 weeks. It's really early.
I think so. Your phone deleting the messages was an accident, and then I think Paul talked to you already about kids.
Yeah.
And I haven't read everything in here. Was that phone ever found?
I don't remember. Was it?
I don't think so.
I have no idea what happened. Was she really good about keeping her phone? I mean, did she lose her phone very much?
No. Yeah, usually kept it with her.
Not like her lifeline. I mean, to you, I mean, it really was. It was like, it was your guys' lifeline together when you guys were apart.
Is there anything else?
Couple more things. When it comes to, I know that part of the landlord. How many people have you talked to? And on that route to your dad's place? Handful of people.
Yeah, and like
The core group of people.
yeah.
I mean, that was probably your special place. That special place for you and your friends. I mean, well, I mean,
It
your
was
close
fun
friends.
to go out there, but that's because it was a lack of supervision. It's the only reason we went out there. Nobody was there to watch us smoke pot.
Who did you take out to?
I've taken a few people out there. Matt, Jeff, I mean, almost different times. But I mean, to tell you the truth, like I said, I pretty much always used the map. It's always confusing. It was always confusing to track through. Yeah. But I also would just use my dad's directions at the same time sometimes if I remembered it, because he would drive out there and then I'd be like, oh yeah, we're out there. But for the most part, yeah, didn't really go out there that often, especially by myself. I didn't like going out there by myself because one time my battery died. Twice I've had a shotgun held to me by a neighbor who thought I was breaking into the property. It's not a big fan.
Your dad's property?
Yeah.
Oh, and they just didn't recognize you? Or?
Right, because it's my dad's property and I also didn't spend a lot of time there. Not recognized.
Okay. You can understand why that, I mean, obviously you know where Katelyn's remains are found.
I'm aware of it.
And it's out there in Indiana. It also seems to me, again, Paul knows this case a lot better than me. I think the reason why he's asked you about this circle of friends is it doesn't seem that there would be a lot of possibilities of this type of crime, you know,
Outside of like immediate friends.
outside of a small group of people. And then the body is found in Indiana. That doesn't seem like that would be some random person.
I don't know. I don't
will tell
know
you
that
this, John.
answer.
All your core group friends I've talked to, I mean, all of them, all said the same thing. Caitlin's not opening that door to screen. So I mean, the whole adage of who then?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
I don't know.
that's
And like I said, you asked me my speculation. I told you,
That's
but I don't know.
And that's what, I mean, I always wanted to know how you felt even to this day, because sometimes hindsight's 20/20, you know, it's been 12 years.
I just,
You still feel the same way?
but what you're asking me is not just, do I think that somebody I know killed her? You're asking me, do I think my friends killed her?
Yeah.
And how do I answer that?
Truthfully.
I mean, like,
I wanna- deep
but
down.
I don't know who.
Deep down, I want to know what John.
Have you looked into John Harris, who recently killed himself? Because I've always wondered about him, and I don't feel like anybody's ever really done it. I don't understand why, and I don't understand a lot,
I understand.
but I don't know. And I don't know who to point a finger at. I've done, trust me. But, I mean, how do I get that answer? How do I come to that conclusion? Is it a feeling? I don't fucking know.
I'll take you beyond it. I'll take your feeling, because you are the.
But the only feeling I've had, I had a feeling about John Harris for some fucking reason. Don't know why. I've had a feeling about everyone at one point or another. Yeah.
Understandable.
And the finger has been pointed to everyone.
Sometimes.
But that's the other thing.
Unfair.
But that's the other thing. I don't have an exact answer. You asked me what my thoughts are. I mean, that I don't know.
Thoughts mean feeling. I mean, because I know.
I'm giving you everything I got.
Thoughts one thing, feelings another, something else.
Yeah.
Because it means
I've
like
given
us.
you everything.
It means like us to know what John Carter thinks and feels.
And I think that's probably why I know this has been a traumatic experience for you over the years, but you have to understand from the police perspective, whether it's the Fairfield Police Department or the Sheriff's Department, Katelyn wasn't, abducted off the street in front of David's bride, okay, or some by some random person. She wasn't, right? So,
Right.
you
I
get
see what you're
concerned.
saying. I see what you're saying.
Seems to
And
me
yeah,
to be
I
a
see
small
that point.
group.
I had
Small
that
group of
same
people.
thought.
And she didn't have.
But
She didn't have what we would call, and he's seen this, and I have too, we call a high risk lifestyle. Bar hopping. You guys didn't do that.
No.
You guys hung out together.
Yeah.
So I mean, there again, it keeps narrowing it down. It's like, well, they're not living a high risk lifestyle. You keep narrowing it down. Okay, well, they smoke a little weed, but they didn't do anything else. I mean, you guys, she just didn't. You guys didn't either. You narrow it back down. Was okay. Well, drugs is not going to be part of it because that's just what you guys get.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a small group of people that it's narrowed down to.
Mm-hmm.
You leave her, she's in her apartment.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You go to a party, and then later in the day, you decide. Now, let me ask you this. This has also bothered me a little bit. Just again, why did you jump to like she's missing?
I didn't.
You didn't.
No.
Okay.
I texted her a few times. I had, again, like I had said earlier, we would communicate first thing. There would be at least something.
Okay.
I would have some sort of response. I didn't jump there. It had been an hour or so, still no response, and that was extremely unusual. It would be quite quick for a response usually. So I didn't jump there. It was already suspicious.
Well, see, I guess I've been married a long time. And Paul's been married a long time. I think if I didn't,
She didn't. You don't understand.
my wife I'd be like, my wife is mad. My wife's pissed at me.
No.
I would not immediately jump to like she's
No.
missing, right?
But you have to understand, she went through her entire work shift without even saying that she's mad at me.
And she would have.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we communicated. We talked to each other. She would say, I don't want to talk to you right now.
See, this is why the text messages bother me so much. But it's like, I understand what you're saying, that you say it was an accidental thing, but
It bothers the shit out of me too.
Right.
Believe me, I know what I did
That
to
would-
fuck myself.
yeah,
I do.
that would be something that would be
But I also
really
know
helpful
that
to me,
I also know that I know the truth about what I've done.
Okay.
So
All right.
this is where I am.
Okay.
And
All
I'm
right.
giving you everything I got.
I appreciate that.
You came in here today, and listen, I know that I'm asking questions that you have probably answered a bunch of different times, but I'm trying to, it's 12 years, right? It's a 12-year period. So I'm trying to go over stuff that I know it's not comfortable to go over, but that, to me, coming in to help Paul on this, like some of these things, John, bothered me. And starting from the premise that there's only a small group of people that probably did this. Okay. Again, you wouldn't be going through this. Some of your friends, this would not have been focused on you guys except for the way this crime happened. Okay. And then you have these things along the way that have obviously, it hasn't helped you. It hasn't helped you. And believe me, since I've tried to help Paul on this case, Paul's wanted to see, is there something here that I can absolutely rule out John Carter?
He's got fresh eyes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
yeah, I don't have it. I'm trying
I
to,
want to rule me out so bad, but I
want to
really
rule you out
cannot-
too, but
I
it's
really
hard for me to
cannot.
look at this stuff and kind of go, what, because it just, every time I've gone through these reports, it's like, well, let me see, let me look at these text messages. He deleted them. Why did he delete them? Why did he delete them?
I know.
We have this story about the cars. Like, is John being honest with me about,
I've not
yeah.
lied to you yet. I've not lied to any of
I
these
appreciate that.
investigative agencies. I have not said anything out of turn.
okay,
I am not going back on anything I've said. Well, but I am stated in the beginning, there are parts that I'm a little blurry on, but none of it is, all of that is what had happened.
But you still remember the core, what happened there,
I remember the things that shocked me.
right?
I remember the things that happened, and to an extent, but I don't remember specifics.
That's why at the beginning of this, you notice I kind of, and I told you at any point in time, because I wanted to give you some, refresh. That's why I told you at the beginning of this. I'm wrong at any point in time. That's why it's kind of,
But I don't think I have anything.
well, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Have anything to turn around.
Those are some things like I said with the car seats, and some of the computer with the messages, and you made phone calls in Sunday afternoon when you're supposed to be asleep and stuff like that. I mean those things that I guess gives us more. Okay, what's going on? What I mean?
And maybe maybe I'm blurry on my morning before I left for work, but
Because even some things.
I
that you
didn't
haven't
go
seen.
anywhere. I didn't go do anything, and I had nothing to do with Katelyn going missing or not being. That's what I can tell.
well, I mean, she did go missing, but then maybe found. So, I mean, it's worse than just missing.
I had nothing to do with her. Do you need me to say that? Because I did not do anything to her to kill her.
I think that's the first time I ever heard you say that.
I did not kill her. I did not murder her. I did not take her. I did not do anything to threaten her life. I did not have an accident. And to tell you the truth, if ever there were an accident, I would never be able to hold that in. I would not be able to look you in the eye right now. And I can tell you that 100%. I did not do anything to hurt that. I loved her and I had a life plan for her. And I was not about to lose that. And the fact that I even managed to get to this part of my life, what I can do now, is something I never thought I could do. I am sorry for the indiscrepancies and the things that you're seeing with my computer, with the phone, with the witnesses who apparently saw me leave a garage that I don't park in. But I can't give you any.
If you see why,
I can see why you're asking the
yes.
questions.
Okay, that's what you
I can see
understand.
why you're asking the questions because you have to cover everything.
Yes.
But what I am telling you is what I know to be true.
Right.
100%.
Well, and I think we've talked about the stuff that I've looked at that I'm like, oh, that.
So do you feel like I may have even helped in your understanding of it, or do you still
Well,
feel
no.
totally lost?
I think I don't think I'm totally lost. I think you've gone over and given me your explanation. So, I mean, and you help me understand what I'm seeing. I mean, the text messages are still bothering me, but you've given me an
bothers the
answer.
shit out of me
Yeah,
too.
you've given me an answer to that. Okay, so I don't. I mean, unless you're not telling me everything, then
Nothing more I
the
can
answer is what it is, right? What about, again, I think we're focused on a small
My wife
group.
won't leave me alone.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You understand.
I'm sorry. Well, we talked about that before, right? See, my wife would just ignore it. She'd be like, why?
No, Sarah's pregnant. I am
Okay.
terrified. She is going to.
Hormonal, is she?
Yes.
What about other people? And I know you're hesitant to point to a friend. But John, I'm telling you, there's a small group of people
I
that could have
understand.
done it. And I'm sure you've
I
thought about
understand.
this. I'm sure you've thought about
And I thought Brad.
Ben Morgan.
Yeah. Of course, I thought Michael Strauss, which he wasn't a close friend, but
I told you myself.
I know.
Because me and you talked, and I was like, you know, and it was one of those things when I told you, I meant that. It's like, okay, he's got to be rolled out. You know, I got to talk to him at least. There's no one else I talked to.
So I'm just going to throw some names out here. And again, I'm not biased towards any of these. So
Because he's going to talk about people, your
Okay.
friends. You're going to talk about the woman you love.
Okay. So, and I'm talking,
You
And
know
I've
what?
talked to-
Honestly, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you give me anything that makes me twinge suspicion, I am not above throwing someone under the bus for this reason.
okay. So,
I'm not.
Good.
so we talked about Jeff Rutledge having a blue car. What about him?
Jeff has always been just quiet. He slept all the time. He would basically be passed out on the couch in the middle of the party. But he's never been angsty to me. He seemed like he could get flirtatious with Katelyn occasionally, but never bothered me. It was never anything that like made me feel like, what are you doing, dude? Like he was just nice to her.
Right.
He was nice to me. We were pretty good friends. We never really spent a lot of time on one time, but I did spend a lot of time with him when we'd go over to a friend's house or he'd get a little there, you know. Sometimes I'd go over to his house to smoke or whatever. We're tremendously close, so no, I don't really have a suspicion for him because it doesn't. I wasn't that close.
What's that feeling? That's that feeling we're talking about.
Yeah. What about John?
That is strange, though. I mean, it's strange that I like think about it now, and I'm like, I don't really know him as well as I maybe even thought I did. John Palmerton.
John Paul. Yeah. He's just another one of the.
I have known since I was 7 years old. I got really upset with him because we lived together. He made, and this was before Katelyn went this. He destroyed his room, and then left me with the apartment, no bills paid, even though I gave him the money to pay the bills. And he abandoned me on Halloween when we were supposed to move out that day. And I had to clean the entire apartment. I wanted to get a friend of mine to come in and help me, but we cleaned the whole thing and like emptied the entire apartment out. And there was dried shit all over his floor.
Dried shit.
Because there was a dog.
Oh, okay.
There
Like,
was-
basically, it shouldn't.
Like white dried.
Okay, that's been there for a
Been
while.
a while. There was broken up desk parts, broken up computer parts, everything was horrific. On top of that, the dog was basically a puppy, so she scratched a hole in the carpet and ripped it out. I mean, like those.
So puppies do.
And then he left me with all of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was fucking pissed. I didn't want to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have anything to do with him for a really long time. But ultimately, I've known him since I was 7. I don't think John would have done something. I just don't.
Well, Mike.
Mike, I really don't think so either, but Mike has also had his problems with drugs, and I've actually watched Mike lose his fucking mind. Temporary insanity style. I've watched Mike claim that there was a balance of good and evil, and that he represented the devil and John represented God. Just said all kinds of random shit. And this was while I was in New York. He had like lost it, and he went over to Katelyn's while I was in New York, while he was losing his shit. And when I got home, he was at Katelyn's, and he was still spouting out all this crazy things, stuff about the balance of the world. And then, like almost 6 months later, the same thing happened to my friend Chas Kimball, and he wound up coming over to Katelyn's and sitting in the back of the house. And like the friends, it was my friend Nina and Chaz, And they came to my house because they didn't know who else to talk to. And Chaz was talking about turning himself into the police because he had taken mushrooms and had done opium for the past like 3 or 4 days. So I was like talking him down from a ledge, like, don't report yourself to the police. And the only reason he was there was because Nina thought that I would be the only one to talk him down. And so I've seen it before. You know, Mike, Chaz, where they just seem to just not be here. And then like a week or so later, they're back to who they were. And nothing changed. And it only happened once with Mike. It only happened once for Chaz. Never saw it again. Never saw anyone do that again. But they were gone. They were not. Chaz was totally gone. Mike, totally gone. Not the same person. And it was almost as though it was like a lack of sleep and an abundance of drugs. And it was this temporary insanity thing. They wouldn't go to sleep. They would not sleep.
Your relationship with John Palmerton seemed to have gotten better after. I mean, didn't he help with
I just stopped talking to him as much.
Yeah.
I got my life, like shortly after all of that, it was time for me to determine where my life was going. We weren't living together anymore. I was going back to my mom's, you know.
Because it was at your house.
Mhm.
And didn't he help try to look for Katelyn after she was missing? Or didn't
Yeah, I
he-
think so.
What man?
Again, Matt's another long-term friend, but my suspicions aren't gone there. Look, if we're looking at who do I suspect, like I told you earlier, suspect everyone. And yeah, I have things that are like, you know, that's strange, that's not strange, but ultimately, like with Matt and with John, I've just known them for so long. And I think what I am is more afraid of being so disappointed and so betrayed.
Sound like I'm the same way you are. I suspect everything. I have to. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
I have to.
I have no delusion that you don't have suspicions towards me, regardless of how truthful I am.
I think I have a suspicion of that whole group.
Yeah.
Not just you, dude. Not just you.
I know, but I'm aware that I'm still there.
What's over there?
I know.
You're in the group, and like we talked about, the crime,
It has to be from
the facts
somebody
of the
that they know.
crime, and it's not just
And you guys
that-
also have more investigative experience. I don't know this. I didn't know that. I didn't know that this crime just basically indicates that it has to be somebody she knew. Like that never really.
Well, I wouldn't say it has to be, but it's a small door.
It's an indication.
And
She was your fiancé.
we have talked.
She opened over the side.
Paul has talked to people
No,
that have said,
no,
you know, that
but-
girl wouldn't open that door for
But-
just anybody.
But also that is to assume that that girl opened the door for someone, because she also needed to let Murphy out. And maybe Murphy was locked up in the room. And I do understand that. But who's to say that somebody wasn't out there waiting? And to throw, I mean, like there's just,
I got you.
I
do
get
you
it,
get
but
what I'm saying? Like there's so many circumstances.
Then we got the route though.
Huh?
Then we have the route.
there's no forced entry. There's a route out to Indiana. I mean, you can understand why this core group is a group that we've concentrated on.
Well, and I
And
gotta
you're not
say,
the only person that doesn't want to point a finger at their friends, but I think everybody,
nobody's above suspicion.
everybody
Yes, right.
in that group
Nobody's above suspicion.
is suspected.
Yeah.
So,
Please, you go on, search them up, catch them. But to tell you the truth, like even the route situation is still, there are other circumstances.
sure.
That's a rural area, as far as I understand.
John, there's
if you're
circumstances.
gonna go somewhere, you're gonna head towards Indiana. You know, it's right across the border. You know, like
There's circumstances with all of these things. So that's the thing. So what we look at is, you know, any one of these small things wouldn't necessarily point the finger at you or one of your friends. But then when you get this piece, And then you get
No,
this
I'm
piece,
aware. I'm aware.
And
And
then
I'm
you get
seeing
this
the
piece.
pieces you have that pointed me to discuss that.
Sure.
But I am not aware of the other pieces. On top of that, like all of this is traumatic for me. So I'm not going around going, hey man, did you kill her? I'm not gonna try to.
That's the
No.
reason I was asking about
That's
this
what
here,
you're supposed
about the car seats, because she's 5'3".
Right. No, and I get
And
that.
That's,
That's
I mean,
fucking
that's
weird.
like, okay, that's, you know,
That's
it-
fucking weird.
and her keys are in her pocketbook, her purse.
Yeah.
There's-
Yeah. I mean, like you said, though, I did grab her keys. I probably did look through her car. And likely scenarios are that I can't find this phone. I'm going to look harder.
Yeah.
That's what I got for you. I mean, and that is a likely scenario.
Right.
I mean, to me, even.
I mean, we went, like I said, we went as far as ask the detectives to take photographs, tow truck driver, like, okay, this thing.
Well, they're both slip back.
Yes, which means
They're both slip back.
two large people. Right. Two people who are going to be over. We just say, oh, I mean, you said that part before. I mean, when she was driving, is that where you had it? When you were sitting in the passenger seat, where did your driver phone?
I was sitting in my car, but I didn't.
But
I didn't
would you always in the passenger
usually,
seat?
yeah, I usually
She drove?
her car. I drive.
Right. And so when you sat there in the back, in the passenger seat, you're in the back. You're sitting towards the back of the, you know, you're moving the seat back to where,
I don't always slide it on the back.
'cause you're a big guy.
Yeah. But I do slide back.
You what, 6'2"? 6'2"?
No, not even 6.
Yeah, 6 foot. Okay.
You're telling
Let's
me.
look bigger.
Well, it's because he's so big. That's the thing, is if you're shorter like us, then everybody loves. You know, when you're as big as him. That's the problem. Well, you can understand, we appreciate you coming in, but you can understand why we're so focused on certain things. Because, and
And what you're saying,
you've been
I'm sure-
cooperative, and you've talked to us, and you've talked to multiple investigators over the years. So I appreciate that. But you can see why there continues to be things that are problems that you've given me an explanation for, but as an investigator, I still look at it and go, I don't
know about that.
and I can't rule John out. I can't.
What can I say though?
I mean, if you're telling me the truth, I mean, are you not telling me the
I am
truth?
100% telling you the truth.
Yeah, I can't ask you to do anything else than just, that's what I want, is the truth.
And that's what I'm giving. I have nothing more. I really don't. Do you have any other questions?
It was just that whole thing. You know, I mean, I hate bothering you. And you don't know how much I hate bothering you. I hate calling your mom, because your mom, I called your mom the other night. She starts getting emotional, and I was like, shit, I called John's mom. I didn't need your number. She's supposed to text me your number, and she forgot. So I was like, shit.
honestly, I told her, and please don't take this personally. I told her, fuck him. I don't want to do this to you guys.
But
Let me say.
I'm glad you are.
I can do
I've
that.
seen some of your other videos and you interviewing, and this is going much better when it comes to us talking back and forth. You know, we're engaging in a conversation of what the hell happened. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think I've been honest with you about, like, look, I mean, I think you know some of this stuff doesn't look good either. I mean, the text
I'm aware of the
message,
text message thing.
I mean, that looks
The
really bad.
proximity thing, I think you guys are really like you're talking about like where she was found, but like
Here's the thing, that let me tell you this, okay? This has been my feeling day one, truly does. Where she was at was a location to where someone cared. A little bit, I'll tell you what. Get in, get your fragmenting somebody who is a suspicious person that you think, what are they going to do with her? Think, forgive me. They're going to have to murder her.
I thought that's where she was dumped.
You know,
I thought she was dumped in the water.
I'm thinking, you know, that'd be, that's the easiest way. I mean, you live by
Is
it.
that right? Am I wrong? Where was she
I'm
found?
talking about the Great Minor River,
Specific.
not a creek bed.
Oh,
I'm talking about, I mean, you live next to the largest bodies of water in the whole great Cincinnati area,
Yeah.
the Great Minor River.
Yeah.
mean, someone who didn't give a shit about her, they're just going to dump her. I mean, you know, or a pond somewhere, they're going to throw her. God bless her heart.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened. Someone took the time. That's what I'm saying. You know, someone took the time. And that's what's a little bit different.
Well,
than most
and
others.
can I say that
Sure.
in my head and in my scenario, it sounds like somebody took the time to get the fuck out of here. It sounds like somebody did something horrible and then just left and found some place to get her out of their car.
That place is specific, though.
I don't know anything about it.
It's specific. It's
I
a
don't
specific
know
place.
anything about it, so I can't really. That was my thinking. When I tell you guys that I think it was somebody she didn't know, when you tell me she was found on the ground, just sitting on the ground, that doesn't show me that they cared about them at all, that they cared about her at all. They just ditched her, dead.
Yes.
That doesn't show caring to me at all.
As opposed to, you ever seen a body when it goes in burial?
No.
It is.
I have never seen a dead body.
It's actually quite disgusting, especially if it's been in water for a while. It truthfully is.
I've never seen a dead body.
You ever seen Michelin Man?
I've seen a funeral dead body.
You seen a Michelin Man?
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's what it looked like. That's what somebody who's drowned looks like.
You told us earlier that you were not aware of anything about Katelyn having second thoughts about her. Is that right?
No, she never made me aware of her not wanting to go to Colorado. Maybe she had like doubts or second thoughts. And we were like, are we sure we're going to do this? But it was never like, you go and I'll stay, or we should just not do this together. It was like, are we sure we have the money, the wherewithal, the financial? Yeah, she's confiding and trying to figure out. And it was never, I don't want to go, and me going, well, we said we were going to go. Like, if she said she didn't want to go, okay, let's not go. If she said she did want to go, okay, I'll do everything in my power to get us going.
Mm-hmm. What about this credit card? Didn't your mom sign? Your mom signed for a credit card with her?
With her, yeah.
She canceled.
Probably, I mean, I don't know.
She canceled it. She decided not to go forward.
I don't think she wanted to have credit cards part of the bank statement idea. You know, like she just didn't want to do credit cards and keep them.
But that doesn't seem to be going with that. She didn't like credit cards. I mean, she seems like a plant.
Well, she does, and she is a planner, but that doesn't. I don't know about the credit card.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to ask you something personal here, and I know it's all personal, but so I think you had mentioned something probably way back in one of your interviews about Katelyn didn't mind you looking at porn.
Yeah, I said that here just now.
Oh yes, and I think I'd heard that before, maybe, or read it in a report.
Like I said, Sarah, my wife, watched it with her. She remembers the story.
Okay.
She's the one who reminded me of that story.
Okay. Why was everything in your relationship okay?
Yeah.
Personal, sexual,
just
all
like
of that?
porn, dude. I was 20-something years
No,
old.
I understand.
You know what
I get
mean?
that. But there wasn't any difficulties in your,
Sexual?
no?
No. I didn't know how to do it. I was probably bad at sex, to tell you the truth, at the time, for sure. But no, I mean,
No.
like we didn't have sex super often.
Okay.
But that didn't bother me. I did the things that would get to me sometimes is I would like just more cuddling. And it bothered me that she didn't cuddle me as much as I would like her to. But that never was anything we thought about, not really. And we've been on the verge of breaking up before. That's not like it wouldn't be any sort of new scenario. And it never escalated to more than like, I remember one time she was basically breaking up with me long before all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's we're talking it out. And I say, let's just go to skate park and sit outside and talk, just me and you. We'll figure it out. We went to the skate park. We sat on the side of the bowl and that waterworks. And we talked. And I said, I remember saying, Caitlin, I just don't see myself being with anyone else but you. Don't want to. If you need me to do this or that, I will do this or that. I don't remember what her main complaints were at the time, but I do remember that we talked it through. We discussed everything. We didn't fight, not like Sarah and I fight,
Mhm.
tell you the truth. But we didn't fight, and that was while we were basically almost breaking up. It was just a communication thing. Again, that was years. It's not like we broke up and then got back together and then broke up a week later and got back together. It was, is this really what I want?
Mhm.
And that's really what Caitlin was doing. Is this really what I want? Do I really want to be with him for the rest of my life?
Mhm.
And basically it was me saying, yeah, you do. You do. You want to be with me because I want to be with you.
Mhm. Let me ask you one last thing about this weird thing here that your computer
It's a shitty computer.
is shit. Did anybody else have access to it?
That was in my room.
Okay.
I mean, some people might have been able to pull it up or do stuff with it if you walked into my room and sat in the chair I used. So I got a red recliner and I had it sitting on the shelf right there, and I'd type away, and I figured out how to connect all that shit to my TV. So I connected it to my TV, and then when I switch, and that's another thing.
You said you're not good at computers. You sound pretty good at computers.
John Palmerton is good at computers and told me how to switch it over
Ah.
to my TV.
Did John
He
Palmerton
went
come
with
over?
me to Micro Center.
Ah,
This
okay.
this is before all that.
Yeah.
But he went with me to Micro Center. We found the thing that would connect it to my TV, and he showed me how to connect it to my TV.
Okay.
And that was pretty much it. But as far as it's concerned, like, am I great at computers? No. Do I have a decent understanding of computers, as any 90s bearing child would? Yeah, I know a little bit.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm not a computer illiterate.
Mhm.
But I mean,
That's me.
there's still, there's plenty of stuff I don't know.
Well, like in your core group, anybody in your core group, and on the computer, but that's what
Everyone in my core group basically knew my passwords to everything.
they-
Yeah, because my password was stapler, 2 P's, 2012. And the reason that it was stapler was because when I made the first time password, Office Space was sitting on the desk, and it reminded me of the scene where the guy said, "See my stapler."
Right.
So I used the word stapler. And then when I had the computer, when I got that computer, John and I and Alan and Travis all basically lived in that house, and that computer was in the living room, and everyone used it
Ah.
all the time.
So
When
it
I
was
lived in that
almost
apartment
it was a brute computer for a while.
for a little while, and then I got pissed that everyone was using it, so I took it back into my room. But I didn't change my passwords. Now I did. So I get into my shit.
Yeah. That'd be a crime to do that. So the computer that I think the police looked at and stuff, that used to be a group computer that friends used.
It was my computer,
Yeah, but they knew
but
your
other people
password.
would have been able to
Okay.
use it if they wanted to. I didn't distinctly remember or think, I can't think of off the top of my head anyone in particular sitting on my computer, but yeah, I bought that, I don't know when I bought that TV hookup, but we could have even used that to
Mhm.
stream TV shows and shit
Right.
when I was living in that apartment.
So did anybody come home with you that night? This blue sedan, nobody came home that night. Nobody came with you.
No, I went home. I debated even stopping at Caitlin's. Debated it. Because I felt bad, because she said she wanted me to burn the documents, and she was frustrated that she had to stay home, so I wanted to.
Understandable. You gotta go. You want.
It was late. I didn't want to bother her.
You want to
It
get
was
pissed at you. You want to do the best thing you can is, hey, I'm sorry. I get that.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I had to be sorry or I needed to be sorry. I have a guilty conscience. It's hence why I'm saying, even if it was an accident, couldn't lie straight to your faces.
Why do you have a guilty conscience?
I'm always guilty. I just how I was raised.
Yeah.
Just you know, like I would do stuff that was wrong, and when I would get accused, I'd feel that human condition,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
I also have learned very early on with mom, made it very clear, don't lie. There's no point.
Mm-hmm.
Never a point to lie. Don't get me wrong. Even to this day, sometimes I lie. But it's never going to be something like this, where it's extremely important that I tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If a lie is going to hurt somebody, I prefer not to do it. Is there something else I could address specifically about that?
No, I think you did.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's you answered that question. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cut and dry, isn't it? I mean,
I don't know why those popped up, but sometimes when you would click on these, those automatically come. Maybe the timestamp is weird on it or something of that nature, but I had no.
but your computer is, how many times did it crash?
Oh, that shit would glitch every time. And a lot of times it would send in malware. Add all the time. So I would get all these ads, I would get.
You ever have to reboot your computer after it crashed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Regularly? How many times did you say?
I couldn't tell you. That computer's a piece of shit. I couldn't tell
Did it happen more than once, a couple times?
you. Maybe. More than once, yeah.
More than once.
Okay. Is there anything else, John? You think we should-
We've asked all the questions. Now,
Is there anything more that I can help? Am I going to be relieved from a list, or is that never going to happen?
I mean, I don't know if we can, like Paul's trying to rule you out. Now, I'm not saying that, I mean, you've offered explanations for all this stuff, but it still bothers
and you've always come in.
me. I think I'm glad that you've been cooperative. I'm glad you come in and talk with us.
Well, and
There's a lot of things that I'm sure you probably wish you had those text messages so you could say, look, Mike, right here.
here they all are.
Yeah.
I would totally give that to you. Basically, I would really prefer not to have to do this anymore. Now, I understand if there's some sort of indictment, I'm going to have to go to court. Or something of that nature. Is that likely?
Like I told you on the phone. I think it was John. The prosecutor's office, I'm a deputy sheriff.
I remember you saying that,
Yes.
that you would put it in and then they might not do anything for a
Yes.
while.
Because grand juries do what grand juries do. What they do is we present everything we have to them. And it's basically to get it, because none of this there's not even a case number for this, the prosecutor's office.
Mhm.
So we get it on the record, because if somebody does come in at some point in time, there's no record of shit.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? We get it on the record, let the grand jury hear all the testimonies that we have.
Mhm.
And they will either indict, or they'll kick it back, or they won't indict nothing. We'll call what's called a no bill, which is mean the case is still pending till further investigations are done. So that's what happens.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with this. Like I was telling your fiance or your wife, is that reason why I was kind of pushing for this, because I talked to all your friends. One last time I talked to you for this very reason we did what we here today. I greatly appreciate it, but I have to write up my report of what we found and these last questions that we have, and basically, and I'll write it in my report. I will submit this to the prosecutor, and he will go from there. He'll say either, he doesn't have to present this to the grand jury if he doesn't want to. He can say yes, no, or continue research. So he's the prosecutor.
Oh, and I'm going to say this. Finally, at this point, you may find discrepancy, but you will not find any evidence, and I can promise you that, because I was not involved in Katelyn Markham's death in any way. I just want to make sure that is,
Or the disposal of her body.
or the disposal of her body, or anything to do with her disappearance, or anything surrounding the incident that we are discussing today. The only thing I had to do with it was that I loved her and I was in a relationship with her, and that was it. That we were connected. That's it. And beyond that, there's nothing else to find out. And that's what I really want you to be clear on that. Because I can promise you, you're not going to call me in here, or you're not going to have a grand jury bring me in because of evidence existing. Because there can't be. It's impossible because I was not there. At any point, the house, her car, didn't drive it. I went in to look at stuff to see if I could find her phone.
Yeah, and you just described that.
But all the way to where she was discovered, I refuse to go. I cannot be in the place where she was found dead. And I have never seen it. I couldn't describe one iota of that area. I've never been there in my life. And I want to keep that statement true, to tell you the truth. Because there's no reason I need to go there. Ever. And I will never go there. I won't even drive by it. I go the other way. Like I always have
To
done.
her townhouse or
Where she was found. Where she was found. Drive by her townhouse all the time. My mom was right there.
Right.
Pick up her daughter and stuff. But where her body was found, I've never been there. I don't want to talk about it. And I know that seems maybe even weird that I don't want to talk about it. But to tell you the truth, it's where she died. I don't want to be anywhere near that. I don't want to have anything to do with that. That is not her. That is not a memory of her. And that is not something I ever want to see. I've never been there. And I won't ever go there. Ever. Even if you find the person who did it. Never going there.
Understandable.
I hope that you find whoever did this. I hope that this ends. I really don't want to come back in here.
Hey, this is a voluntary interview. So
No, I
mean,
understand it.
yeah,
If
and I
you
know
call,
don't
if you
want-
call me and say, hey, we're gonna need you to come in again, $20 says you'll be able to convince me to do it. Because I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
And if it means
Very
that this will stop, then make it stop.
Well, like I said, I'm at the point now, my job is to report my
Move it
findings
over.
to the prosecutor and say, hey, this is where I'm at. He will
And I'll-
tell me,
I'll be
Hey,
totally fine to look you at any grand jury in the eye.
okay,
I will make all the statement I need to make. You can investigate every part of my life. And in fact, I'm going to tell you this too. My wife and I have, and I call her my wife. She is my fiancé, but I call her my wife. I'm just telling you, that's how I refer to her. My wife and I, right when we really started being a real relationship, we got this program called Life 360 so that I can be watched no matter where I am. I have a program that detects me wherever I am. And a lot of people will bitch. I don't want to be watched. I don't want to be followed. I do. Because I don't want ever to be caught in this situation again. I'm sorry I'm getting loud.
No,
It's
okay.
very passionate. I don't ever want to get caught in this situation again. Where something horrific happens and somehow I'm roped into it. I'm turned into be this, and turned into this accusation, you know, and here we go. So I'm never going to do that again. You will know everywhere I am
if it's
for
such
the rest of my life.
if it's such circumstances, your circumstances are different than everybody else's.
Well, John, I think we ask hard questions of anybody that we interview in this case. So we've asked you a lot of hard questions today, but I know for a fact that Paul asked hard questions of anybody interviewed. So as you said at the very beginning, you want us to find out who did this.
Yes,
That's
please.
always been your story.
So the only
Yes,
way
please.
to do that is to
I
ask.
remember the moment I told you that. Because I remember how strong I looked through your eyes to make sure that you were listening to me
What
when
I
I
tell you,
told you
What I
to
tell
find
you.
who did this.
what I tell you, I will keep looking. I won't stop.
Please keep going. And I promise you that while you're on that trail, there will be no more for you to have to ask me. That discrepancy that you have,
Mhm.
that'll be all you got.
Fair enough.
That'll be it. There won't be anything else because there is nothing else. Okay? And the
Okay.
deleting of the messages, accidents. Car seats, I have no fucking clue. Okay? I have nothing to do with the car seats. The witnesses, fucking liars. Sorry, but if they saw me pull out of my garage, fucking liars. I did not park in my garage. I never did. That was my mom and Steve's spot, not mine. And number 3, final. I'm positive that they have, but Steve can corroborate me being home even that early. Me being in my bed, my car being in the driveway, all of that shit. He wakes up ridiculously early. I don't know exactly what time he woke up.
Mhm.
Okay, but I do know that it takes a long ass time to do all the crazy shit that has been said and that has been done to Katelyn. I have no clue exactly or to any extent what happened to her. But I can tell you that I would never have enough fucking time between the time I got home and the time Steve woke up and walked around the house. Granted, I was in bed, but I was in that house. My car was in the driveway. And the man does not sit there. He looks all over the house. The dude knows. Okay, I haven't personally talked to him about this. My mom was the one who told me that he was awake early that day.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming he told her that. Okay, but beyond that point, time's still not there. And I know you guys are seeing what you're seeing. I know you've got all your things there, but you're not including that. You didn't mention Steve being home at all. And you're not. You're ignoring it. Not to an extent. To an extent, because it felt. But he was there.
Like with me and you got down there last week, and your mom had a conversation about your stepdad.
Mhm.
So I already know about your
Okay.
stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do that.
But it was just like, it's like, here's another witness. Are we going to believe the 2 witnesses that saw my car pull out of the driveway and don't park in? Or are we going to believe the witness that wakes up every morning while I'm in bed? Every morning,
Mhm.
early as shit, and works from home, so spent all day that morning awake.
I mean, I know what time, I know what time you said, in your car, you're on bed.
Yeah.
But again, that's okay. I mean,
I'm not. I just want to be clear that that's there. I mean, like, I know there's all this stuff, but there are things that
There's a lot-
corroborate
there's a lot.
what I'm saying.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, but I'm talking about me specifically in this particular instance, and I am saying that there are also parts that corroborate what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You know, and I know that there are parts that have discrepancy, but that is all they will be, and all they are is discrepancy. Something
Red flags.
something that I can't disprove, and you still have to question. And I'm sorry that that's the way it is, but that is the way it is.
Well, and that's why we have to ask the questions. We have to ask these
Tough questions.
I understand.
And that's what we.
And that's why I'm here, and that's why you guys understand. And I very hate being here. Don't want to fucking do this. And there's every part of my bravery and my strength to even be here and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And with every question, it is harder and harder, just because here we are again in a room with 2 guys staring me down.
Like I told you on the phone, my part of this is coming to a close. The end. What we want.
Johnson, I mean, this is voluntary. This is voluntary. If you, I mean, you can stop the interview at any point.
I'm not. I won't.
Okay.
I'm not mad at you guys.
I understand.
And it's not you guys
Well,
that I'm upset about.
I
I'm
mean,
upset that this still happens.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I have a child. I'm
way.
about to have another.
Yeah.
If it goes to grand jury, does it get photographed? Do I get in trouble? Does my job fire me because because they've seen me on the news. They already know about everything that's happened to me. But if it's a public thing and I have customers coming in,
It's way to come to your job. Okay, I'm not going to do your job.
so I appreciate that.
Your job is your right. You got.
But I'm worried, like, if, and I'm asking,
Yeah.
if it goes to grand jury, am I going to get like media coverage like crazy?
Grand jury's all season. Grand jury's all season.
I honestly don't see myself going
It's a grand
to
jury.
try it. I don't see that happening.
Grand jury's all
Because
season.
even if you brought me to a grand jury, I have nothing more to give and nothing more to say.
The grand jury, let me explain what grand jury is. The only person in there is the prosecutor, grand jurors, and the secretary. So if you was to go in and testify, I don't know what you testify to.
And to be honest with you, that's part of it.
And he's part of it. He testifies. I don't know what he says. So it's all secret.
And
That's the reason why they do
that's a big part of my fear and why I have such a struggle with it. Because if somebody gets it wrong, somebody fucks this up, please.
I'll tell you right now, hold on. Let me stop you right there. 3 years of investigating this. Okay? You see any media coverage on this?
No.
That means I didn't fuck it up.
Thank you so much. And I don't mean to be rude.
No, I'm just
I
telling
really
you. I want to get it straight. 3 years I've been
Thank you.
flying on the radar.
And I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
trying
I
to
didn't
cut
fuck this
through.
up.
I'm just trying to cut through. That's all I'm trying to do. I didn't mean
That's
to be
what I'm doing.
insulting.
No, I'm not insulting.
Okay.
One take.
But all of that being said, I know that if put before a grand jury or if asked anymore, again, like I said, no more evidence, nothing. There's not going to be anything else. So that's what I have. That's what I have.
And I'm glad you did that statement, what you just said. I mean, everything you said.
What's happening?
This is what we call, I think you would, and I know you are probably a Avengers fan, but this is what we call the end game. The end game is we went to a grand jury. You want to testify before the grand jury because we want her to have her say and input in that grand jury, that proceeding. And the grand jury has indicted you.
Why?
They indict because they feel that there's enough probable cause that this case proceed further to the common police court.
Okay.
So they believe the information that we had, and you've been indicted, and
For what?
murder.
Okay, but what evidence? There's nothing.
You're thinking of there's evidence that's got to be fingerprints.
No, I mean.
There's things called circumstantial evidence.
Okay.
And there's a lot of, you've already talked about the circumstantial evidence, the red flags, that's circumstantial evidence.
Okay, but I had nothing to do with her death or disappearance or any of that. So
That being said,
okay, I'm listening.
we are at the point in time now to where this is where you need to come clean with everything happened that night, because here's the thing, dude, I'm telling you, the whole stories that you've been given, the inconsistent stories you've been giving them, being the police department, the media, and everybody else since 2011, has come to a point now to where no one's believing the story. Okay, the whole story about the unknown suspect or individual who was at the festival following you and Katelyn to her house. No one's believing that.
Okay.
They didn't believe it when you first come out with it.
Okay, but that was just like a thought. I mean, like you asked me my theories and I gave you my thought, but I don't
You told no one asked you that question. That's the question you gave to the 911 operator day one. Okay.
Okay.
So that being
I
said,
thought maybe that could be a possibility, but I'm not saying that's my story. I don't know what the fuck happened. I have no idea what happened. That's not a story I gave you as an excuse or any other thing than just there could have been any reason. And I thought maybe that would be the most likely scenario because it seems unbelievable to me that anyone I know would do that to her.
okay.
But I haven't made any lies. I haven't told you anything that didn't happen. So maybe my stories are different sometimes here and there.
Sometimes, John,
But there's
you
not.
have, your story has evolved constantly over the past almost 12 years.
Because it's been 12 fucking years.
Yeah, but your story's not, it's never the same story twice. That's the best part about all this. It's never the same story twice.
What are you talking about?
All your stories.
What part is inconsistent or different?
You filled out, do you remember filling out a form early on, like?
Yeah,
shortly-
just writing down everything that I
Writing
think
down
happened.
everything, you talked
Yeah.
about the events of that day, and
Yes.
it's like, tell us about Katelyn, and you wrote, she is kind, she has a snaggletooth. You remember that form? That was.
Vaguely.
So you wrote down a whole sequence of events from the day before and the day after in August, and you have events that just like they couldn't have occurred. Like they couldn't have occurred, like, you know, about your mom coming back from David's bridal, and you had all of these other things happening, and then you called the police. Like, John, like, I read through it, and I went through it, and I read it, and went back over it, and this is right after it happened.
Okay, can I
Say what you gotta say, brother.
Yeah.
I don't have anything new to tell you. So if we're just gonna sit here and question me,
There's no more questioning.
or expect me to
This is
confess
this.
to
This.
anything, then
Let
we're
me
gonna
let me
have
get
to
this
move
out to you, okay?
forward.
Let me tell you what this is where
I
I'm
have
gonna tell you
nothing
this.
to do with her death or
Okay.
disappearance, and that's really
Right
all
now,
I
as of
have
right
to
now,
say right now.
as of right now, okay, if you want to tell us what really happened that night, I'm willing to listen. The prosecutor is willing to listen. No, but we don't want to hear no more of this nonsense about this unknown suspect following you guys.
I'm not giving you that. Okay? That's the unknown suspect following me thing. Okay, fine. What I have been telling you and what I've been trying to say is I have no clue what happened to her. What I did,
not
what
buying
I
that.
said. Okay, then we're done.
I'm fine.
I'm
with
gonna need to get my lawyer.
Yes.
Please.
Okay.
Yes, because you'll be
Can
going
I
to court.
please have a phone call?
Yes, when you get to the jail.
All right. John, it's 4:58 p.m. Okay, I'm going to put down 4:58. Attorney requested.
I can't believe this.
Well, you need to believe it because it's happening right
Yeah,
now.
well, I mean,
This-
what you're doing is like it's
No, I'm not doing
literally
anything.
no. What has happened, what has transpired, is just it's unbelievable because I really have nothing to do with any of this. With what you're accusing me of, I have nothing to do with it.
John, look.
I didn't have.
He's invoked.
Yes. Look. You've invoked.
John Carter, Katelyn Markham's fiancé, was indicted in March 2023 in Butler County Common Pleas Court on 2 counts of murder. In June 2024, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of involuntary manslaughter. The original murder charges were dismissed as part of the plea agreement. On July 18, 2024, Judge Daniel Hage sentenced him to the maximum term of 3 years in prison, followed by 3 years of post-release control. In January 2026, Carter's request for early judicial release was denied by the same judge, and he is currently serving the remainder of his 3-year sentence in state prison.